So this is the Thursday, March 12th, late show. We're going to be going over MRP Live, Westhold and MyLaps integration, MRP Live Troubleshooting, MRP Live Uploads, and common questions. And so we're going to get started with that. I have a race already going on with some classes in here. I'm going to be showing off how to get MRP Live connected with orbits and some common troubleshooting with both orbits and Westhold, some common things that could happen. We're going to address some of those common issues. And then once we do that, I'll go over some different things, some common questions that folks have asked, answer any questions that you have. If you have any questions, you can hit Alt and H, bring up the chat there, and I will answer those. I do see some questions coming in. If I don't answer those immediately, I will go back and answer all of them. You're also able to message me privately, so that it's an anonymous question there, in case you do want to do that. So let's get started. I'm going to work here in some of these classes that I have. If you have any questions about what some of these different buttons do, how to do everything here, you can refer back to our previous webinars, or you can ask them in the questions here in the Alt and H, and I'll answer them towards the end of the video. The main thing that we're looking for here is the use of transponders. Whether or not we allow rentals or not shouldn't make much of a difference. That'll just allow for internal tracking. But if you are using MRP Live, you are going to want to use transponders. That transponder number, the long number, is what MyRacePass uses to link the two together. To link the transponder and the driver together, we use that there. Let's go into MRP Live. I'm going to open up, we're going to open up Orbits 5.4. And we're going to take a look at it, see a few things here. Let's move this guy. I'm going to hit Launch from Web. Launch from Web is going to open MRP Live for me. It's also going to do a couple things, try to save some time. The main thing is it's going to try to save time using this connection code. It's going to pull that in for me automatically and just pop it in if I have it downloaded. If you need to download MRP Live, you can do that right here where it has that download application. But let's open up our settings and we'll take a look at how this will work. So we have our scoreboard settings here. This is using a demo version, but on the main version, you're going to want to make sure that you enable the scoreboard feed. You're going to copy the IP address that's right here. You're going to take that number down and you're going to put it into this box. So you're going to copy from orbits and put it into here. Same with the TCP IP port. You're going to copy the box and put that right there. Make sure you're using the correct software. So I am using orbits. So make sure we're not using the wrong one. We're going to have the MRP Live connection code. We can either copy and paste from here and put that here. This will be different from event to event, but this is what connects the events into MyRacePass. We also have the assignments path down here. And then the assignments path is going to be where files are going to go. So I have different file folders up and ready to go for the different events that I'm going to be doing. And that's where inside of Orbits it's going to be sending over that information. So when I hit connect, if everything's good, it'll connect, it'll be ready to go. If we change some things, so let's say I used a different IP address and tried to connect it, it won't connect. It'll be looking for this, I won't find it. It's going to be looking for your IP address. Your number is going to be different than mine, so we're going to make sure that we have that. It'll say something to the effect of, we can't find it with the selected port number. So double check those numbers. You're going to double check these and make sure that they match. And again, it's going to be from orbits, not the other way around. Here, I copy the numbers from orbits. There, so it's going to be your own special number. Same with this MRP Live connection code. It's going to be different from week to week, so make sure you enter that in correctly as well. If we didn't enter that in, it'll yell at us. It'll say that it's not a valid code. And if we were to send lineups and we weren't able to see the lineups in our folder, we'll check the assignments path and we can make sure that everything looks good there. So let's go into our entries. We're going to switch classes. I'm going to work in just this 305 sounds good. I'm going to enter in my drivers and their transponder numbers. If you have any questions about this, you can ask me here, and I'll go over that for you. Past webinars that we have also go over these. I believe on Tuesday and Saturday, we went over this information as well. Don't want any duplicates there. We're going to put in the numbers. Now, these numbers here are the long numbers for the transponders. So keep that in mind as well. These are the longer number. Some might have a long or a short number. We're going to use the long one there. All right, we saved it. We're going to move on to our races. And I'm going to create, let's do a heat. We'll have everyone go into the B feature. And I'll make an A feature as well. So inside of here, we're going to set our transfers. Some people have asked how you would do a B feature. And to be honest, B features are the same as any other race. You're just going to set who's going to go where. So I have to have exactly 10 for the way that my system, the demo system works. It only has exactly 10 drivers. But we could set who moves on directly to the A, then who goes to the B. So I'm just going to send everyone to the B. And then I could do the same with the B to the A. So it's going to set up our transfers. It's always going to put the drivers from the transfer first from the A ahead of people in the B for those lineups. We're also able to change the name of those heats, add sponsors, different things like that. But you're just going to make sure that your transfers are set. So it's going to go to the A feature first, then to the B, and then you're going to have B to the A. And it's going to send those there. So let's go into our lineups. I'm going to calculate and create some lineups. I'm going to send them. Say the lineups are set. Now I can check inside of my registration page here. We can import groups and runs. It's going to ask me to select a file. You're going to go to that file in your computer. So I have one for today that I sent those to. We're going to import the runs. Those are done. We have our heat. Now I can go into this track simulator. And let's run the race. Now I'm going to do a couple things here to create some issues inside of MRP Live. The first one I'm going to do is I'm going to change the number here. So let's say I mismatched this number. I'm going to see what that would do inside there. So as you can see, the cars are going around the track. We can change, this would be what a fan would see if they are using the subscription to the app. So you can see that the lap, it's counting the laps as the times. We can click on a specific driver if we want to follow that driver, and then it'll update their times. We can sort them by their best laps, positions gained. So we can do quite a bit there. So you can see that's going to update those and move them up. So we're gonna stop the race. We're gonna throw a checkered. I'm gonna go in here to results. Okay, so the race is done. I'll stop my cars here. So now that this is done, as soon as I hit the stop button, that's going to be its cue to send over those lineups. Please stop annotating. There we go. Okay. Once this is stopped, if you don't see it and you know it's stopped, you can refresh it or go back to the results. You'll see those latest pending right there. Copy it over, and I'm going to have a mistake here. So I intentionally made a mismatch there, and it's going to display that mismatch, that it picked up a transponder, but it wasn't able to figure out who was supposed to go where. To fix this, we'll have to click on the red right here, click on the driver, and save as completed, and then that'll fix it there for me. We can keep doing that for the rest of the night. I'm going to go back in here and fix this class, or fix this person's transponder so it'll match up. And then from here, we're going to go right into our B feature. B feature lineups, you're just going to pick the lineup that you want to use. So I'm just going to take the B feature from heats, send the lineups. And again, it's just going to be kind of repeating the process. So registration, import those groups and runs, import the runs, and then we run our B feature. I'm just going to have them do a real quick B feature so we can just do another A. We'll switch classes and we'll switch transponder systems. But if you have any questions about anything that I've done so far, you can hit Alt and H and it'll bring up the chat window. Ask me any questions. I will be answering those towards the end of the video. And again, we're just going to stop it. And then go into results. And we'll have our results here. Now, if we didn't see that, let's say that something happened. We had like a little bit of a blip. We could see that in the pending here. So if it didn't send that file for whatever reason, if you didn't see it and you think you refreshed it and you still didn't see it, you can go here to the pending files right here, and it'll allow you to check it and send it back. All these are good. Save it. I'm going to switch to the Westhold system. Okay, so inside of here, we're going to have a few different settings. The setup page is going to be right here. We're going to match up our numbers again. So again, we're just going to take this long number, the IP address. It'll be different for you right here. Copy it over. The TCP IP port, there's going to be two spots, but we're going to use the one down here in the bottom in our monitor. And we're going to make sure that that it matches up here. We're also going to make sure this box for enable network is clicked. If it's not clicked, it'll try, but we'll get a warning that it wasn't able to find it. That's because we need that enable network clicked. Once that's clicked, it's good to go. You have the MRP Live code right here, so you can have that code. Again, I hit launch from web. You could also copy and paste it to put it in there, whichever works best for you, how you want to do that. Like I said, I use the launch from web there. We're good to go. And then for the assignments path inside of the location where we have Westhold saved, so let's add race manager here. We have a folder here specifically for assignments, and it's going to go there. So we're going to make sure that we have these things connected, and it is good to go. If you have any messages, generally it'll have the messages that you'll receive. We'll have something mismatched here, so you either won't have this connected or you'll have the wrong numbers put in. Also make sure that you are connected to a decoder box somewhere, because it is going to be looking for that decoder box. You do need to be connected to it on some level. So make sure you have that going there for you too. We're going to go into our entries. The same kind of deal will apply here. We're going to go into our late models. I'm just going to speed enter in some drivers. Ideally, what you would be doing is entering in the driver's transponder numbers. Here, you wouldn't do it ahead of time. I tend to do them while I'm checking in drivers. It works better that way, so you make sure the driver has the right ones there. I save that. Go into our races. All right, so we'll make our lineups, same as we would any other time. If you have any questions about that, again, Alt and H is the spot to do it. I am going to be answering questions for you as long as folks have them. And again, if I don't answer your question immediately, I am getting to all of them that are asked. So please be sure to ask any questions that you may have. Do our heat from pill draw. We'll calculate it. Do MRP Live. We can send lineups. We can also send lineups from here. Both do the same thing. Go into our assignments, have our race, and then we can just run the race here. So we can also see a few different views here. So we can pin these towards the top. So this pin actually works great if you're doing things like qualifying or if you're looking at hot laps, because it'll show the last person who crossed, and you can see all the different times there. Works out pretty neat. You can see who's passed the most cars, who has the best lap. And then it's picked up that I've ended. I have 5 laps, so we're going to stop it. As soon as we hit stop, again, same thing. It's going to know. We're able to import it over. All of our heats available. If we have something where, for whatever reason, so, maybe someone's transponder fell off or something happened there, we can move it, click it up to the top, and save it. And it's good to go. And then from here, same process. We're just going to select our lineup, Once we have all of our lineups, we'd send them. I'll go right into assign. You can see we have that A feature. We'll start it and run the fastest A feature. All right, we're gonna stop. And again, if you, no, you do not have to download MRP Live each session. You only have to download it the once. If we have any updates, we'll let you know about them. In fact, you probably should re-download it if you haven't touched it since the off season. We have updated it in the past. You can do that a couple places. Best place, I just always go into the MRP Live here. It's got the download application, and it'll let you use that update there. We do have some updates that change some things from behind the scenes, so that's a pretty cool. We've done some pretty cool things. Makes life a lot easier for everyone. Kind of on the back end, it changes some things up there. If you have any questions, again, Alt and H is the spot to ask those. Be happy to answer any questions that folks have. This is the last one, the last webinar that we have planned for 2020. And I want to take this time, if anybody's writing on any questions, thank everybody for attending them. It's been a lot of fun. We're probably going to do these here in 2021. Probably keep these going, keep this kind of an annual thing. So I did want to thank some folks here and just take the time to do that. I did get some private questions that I'm going to answer. So I'll put that in there. So it had a question about registration and collecting payments inside of registration. If you collect payments here or put a price in there, we do have to link that up to PayPal. Just let us know the email that you want to use, and we'll link it up to you. We'll link it up for you. It's free for you to do. We'll also have you test it to make sure that the funds are going where you need them to go. If you don't link up to PayPal and you put a price, there won't be any way for us to collect payments, so it'll just let the drivers through. You have to collect the payments elsewhere. So if you do plan on collecting payments, let us know and we'll link it up to a PayPal account, which is free. Create a PayPal account, free for us to link up to a PayPal account for online registration. And then if you don't plan to collect funds through online registration, just leave it at 0. Makes things a little less confusing for your drivers that are doing that. But this is a great question. Alt and H, again, the place to go to ask any of those questions. Be happy to answer any questions that y'all might have. So last time we had a question about what we do in the rainouts. So I'm going to do a rainout here of an event. So what you'll do is you'll go into season management and events. You'll go to total events. And then we'll find the event we want to rain out. So let's do 20th is not soon enough. So I'm going to add an event here just to show off how that would work. So we'll add a Saturday. Okay. So once we have our event here, we can go to event status. We can put the status of the event, so we could say that it's rained out, if it was rained out. Put in a message here about that, so we could say that We're going to put in a message, and then we can put in this. This is sort of our fail-safe to make sure got everything going to the right spot. Okay. So once I hit that I understand and that I confirm here, every fan or driver or anyone really who favorites your track will get notifications about specific things. So it'll send out notifications on news articles. If we're using transponders, it'll send one out when we throw the first green flag. And then it'll also send out notifications for rainouts. It'll do that if it meets a few different criteria. So for raining an event out, that event does have to be soon. So it has to be in the next 7 days. It has to be an event in the future. So we're not going to notify people that an event rained out 3 weeks ago. And then also, again, you're going to make sure that you have all of this done, and then it'll wait 10 minutes to make sure that give us time just in case we have any last minute regrets or anything else. And then after 10 minutes, it will send a notification to everyone that's favorited the track inside of the MyRacePass app. It's free for folks to do that. They just go find your profile. There's a spot there to favorite the track, and it'll send that notification out to everybody there for free for those folks. So that is something you can do there. If you need to remove that event from the schedule for whatever reason, say we actually just postponed it, we just click in on the event. So go to the schedule and find it. Go down to where it says schedules. We'll have it on our schedule right here. We'll click this blue button and it'll say remove from schedule. It'll be removed. And then it's gone. It's off the schedule. If you needed to reschedule, you can just add a new event to the correct date with all that information added in. If you have any questions about how rainouts or anything like that would work, feel free, Alt and H, the spot to ask any questions. This is your time to ask questions. The last time in the webinar setting to ask any questions. So feel free, take advantage of that. And I'm going to be happy to answer any questions that you all have. So another new spot that we've added in will be this communication spot. So inside the communication, that deals part and parcel with the notifications that I had brought up before. So those notifications, it will show I sent out those notifications. So you can see that that rainout that I did in the last session, we can see that I sent that out to 4 people. So 4 folks have favorited my track. No one's opened it. But I can see some of the other times, like my test articles, the live now message, those automated messages. We can also see who they were from, who sent those. This screen, this report is inside of the platinum or higher plans. I got a question here. No, I said MRP Live updated. Then you should re-download MRP Live. So the main thing to re-download was MRP Live, the transponder integration. This guy right here, which I'm gonna disconnect there. And we'll be updating MRP Live here throughout the year. Some updates that we'll have, we'll just let you know. It'll be optional. And then some updates we kind of force everyone to move ahead. And we'll try to let you know beforehand so that you can get that done and updated before race night. There's a lot of great questions here. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it open for questions for folks. So whatever questions, anything that you have to ask those questions, I'll leave it open here as long as I have them. So just let me know and we'll be answering them. And also, if you missed any of the webinars, want to kind of relive all of the excitement and the happiness, the joy, all of them are available at myracepass.com/live-trading. You can view all the webinars here for the individual webinars. Find the one that you like. Find your favorite episode. Choose that. Relive the old jokes that I tell. It's great. They're also all available on YouTube. These webinars will be available tomorrow morning on YouTube at some point. I've been trying to get them there before noon or so. And then we're also going to be letting the winner know of the drawing that we're doing for 2021, the free race management there. So pretty excited. Keep an eye out. If you haven't followed us on social media already, feel free to do so through Facebook, Twitter, all of those usual spots there. And we will be announcing the winners through various channels. But, unless anyone has any questions, I'm going to wrap it up then. It's been great speaking with you here for this past month. If you do have any questions or anything at all, feel free to reach out to us, support@myracepass.com. You can reach out to us directly. I'm always happy to talk with you guys, and yeah, I hope you have a great race season. If you have any questions or anything comes up, let me know. Have a great 2020, everybody, and thanks for stopping in.